If you're new to me, I am Roe Couture DeSaro. I know it shows here Rosemary, but Roe is what everybody calls me by, especially in the business world. And my business is Gutsy Gals Get More, and I have been doing this business for the last 5 years. 5 years, which has been great. But I have been in the empowerment world of women for my entire life since a teenager. I graduated with a psychology degree. That was after me failing my being a physical therapist and taking pre-med classes in a college that was very high-end pre-med college, and I'm taking science classes with them. Totally wasn't into it. I have to admit, my first year of college, I just wanted to party. Did not want to be taking chemistry and calculus and all that. So by the end of my second year, when I kind of realized that this is not me, this is not what I want, I didn't like this, I switched to psychology, and that's when I fell in love with psychology. And that's when my women's studies, and that's when it opened up my world to the difference of men and women. I remember doing a study that I had to do for a sociology class. I had to do for a sociology class. I just have to answer somebody. Okay. And they wanted me to go out there and interview women that were born between a certain age and certain years, and I think it was from like 1890 to 1910, or somewhere in that age group, and coming from a certain area. They were pretty much mostly Eastern European towns. So my grandmother, she was an Italian. She was born in, I think, she was born in 1900, something like that. But she fit the description. And it was basically a survey and an interview that these were the women, which I didn't know at first when I was doing it, but I found out afterwards, but these were the women that were left behind when men were at war. And the question was to really learn about them. And what I learned was how strong and powerful my grandmother was. So that was my first inclination to, like, wow, the differences of men and women. And then my mom, I happened to have grown up with a mom which was the only mom that worked in my neighborhood. It was a very high neighborhood of just in the 50s. I'm born in the 50s, of women staying at home. My mom went to work actually when I was 3 years old. It was 1960. She went back to work, full-time job, with 5 kids, and I was her youngest. And so I had the upbringing of watching her raise 5 kids and have a full-time business and run a household and have Venetian hour every Sunday. I mean, my mother cooked like full storm. And, every Sunday was like, 5-course meals. We would have, like today, if you're on a Sunday in Italian, you're pretty much just having your pasta, and maybe your pasta has meat in it, maybe it doesn't. But back then, it was, you had, after your pasta, you had a full dinner of like meat and potatoes and vegetables. And then you had dessert. It was just amazing craziness and stuff. But so that's where, I first got this inclination that women can do what a man can do. And there's so many other ways. And I, decided, in my 20s to take a job in Wall Street. And even though it wasn't psychology, back then I was chasing the money. I'll admit it, fair and square. I was chasing money, and everybody was in my neighborhood in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, were all in the commodity exchange, and they were all making a fortune of money. And these were wise guys. These were wise guys who I watched grow up in high school, do lots of drugs, do lots of high-speed driving in their cars, lots of crazy stuff, but not all of them, but a lot of them. And they're on the commodity exchange, they're brokers now, and they're making a boatload of money. And I'm like, I want to do that. So that was like, me starting, in that age. But I took a position at E.F. Hutton and Company. And the very first day, it was a brand new position. It was on the trading floor. I had advice. They said, if you're going to work on Wall Street, work where you could be seen. Now take note of this from business. Work where you could be seen so that people can get to know you. Interesting, right? So I took a position on the trading floor. It was newly created, which was so awesome for me because I had no one to follow. Everything I created was the first time I was creating it. So I didn't have my brain saying, well, so-and-so before me did it this way. And, I need to follow her. So I didn't have that. And I didn't realize, but I look at back now, that was such a blessing. Because we get, as women, so caught up into, get so caught up into our blaming and our comparisonitis and all of that. Didn't have that. But I was fortunate. I had a gentleman sitting next to me and he says, do you want to do what I'm doing? And I said, yes. He says, all right, then pick up that phone. And I was like, what? He says, pick up that phone. I'm like, how can I pick up that phone? I don't know. He says, trust me. There are stockbrokers on the other phone. I was a liaison. I was the liaison between the municipal bond trader and the stockbroker. He says, if the stockbroker is willing to talk to you and they don't know who you are and they don't know you by name, then they probably know less than you. He says, if they're all the stockbrokers who know what they're doing, that are municipal bond, experts, they will only speak to people here that are experienced on the desk. So don't worry about it. And if you have a problem, I'm here to help you. And that's what I did. And in 1 week, I was like, picking up the phone call. I was showing them. I was screaming. I mean, I was this little girl, Gutsy Gal from Brooklyn. I am the original Gutsy Gal, screaming on the trading floor for a quote, for a municipal bond quote to the traders. And I had no problem with that. And within 6 months, I had that position. So, I mean, that is, where, and, I just, went from a lot of corporate, but then I went through 10 years from, 1987, the stock market crashed, and then it was mergers and acquisitions, and every company I was going to was falling under. And I had just contracted and built my own home. My husband and I, we built a home with a 3,400 square foot home in the late 80s, and we were stuck. We had a high mortgage, we had all this. So I was forced to start looking at where I wanted to work outside of Wall Street, because Wall Street was falling apart. And that's when I stumbled onto direct sales and network marketing. So I joined a network marketing company in 1989. And I wrote $60,000 my first year in the business in 1989. That's like doing like probably six figures today, right? And it was phenomenal. But there were just issues with the company and different things. And that industry took a hit. And then 2 years later, I actually took a position with the national sales director for a direct sales company. Now, I only had 2 years experience of selling. And yeah, I did well, but I wasn't like $1 million producer. It wasn't like, like today. But I was very good at convincing me. I was very good at convincing like that, because I needed the money. And I was like, I can do this. Even though inside of me was like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. It was like, who am I to think that I can do this? Who am I? And it's like, it was my first lesson. I got the position. The woman, there were the two billionaires who were putting their daughter in business, and the wife was very spiritual, and her intuition just said that I was the one. And that's basically, she hired me on intuition. How fortunate and lucky I was. But we hit it off. We hit it off, and I'm nervous as anything. But what happened was, this was my first lesson that I learned how to step into a role. And this is what happens, ladies. We're going to talk just from the psychology of, how to sign on new clients. You will step into the role, and you will step up, and you will show up. And that's why I want to do some mindset today, because we need to know how to show up first. Because you know what? It'll happen. You will, because you have gifts and talents. You have what you offer, your modality, what you offer. You're the expert. I'm sure you're an expert, because you wouldn't want to be a coach or a consultant or a transformational healer or any of that if you didn't. Let's just check if anybody's just right. You know what I'm talking about. So still approving people. I love it. See, this has all come to fruition so that I can handle this multitasking today. But if you have the desire, God put that desire in you because he knows you can handle it. And so you have the desire, you have the expertise. You're just fearful of picking up the phone and talking to people because you just don't know what to say. Hold on one second. Nope. Okay. I love it. My mom's texting me that she's downstairs at my home, but luckily my daughter is home. Don't you? Real life. This is real life, folks. This is all good. So just trust that you will step into it. Because, and this is what I did. And I did, so when I first started, fast forward to start coaching, when, and then, and my coach was telling me I needed to make phone calls, and I wasn't picking up the phone, like, because I've been in sales my whole life, and I've been a tremendous salesperson my whole life. But here's the deal. I was good at selling other people's products and services if I believed in it. As long as I was in alignment with their belief, I was very good at selling, and doing that. But when it came to coaching, I realized that, and I didn't realize this at first, but I was having an issue and I was procrastinating. So, because procrastination is key. Procrastination is a sign. Procrastination, hold on. Oh, great. Procrastination is a sign that something's not in alignment. Something's out of whack. And we're women. And if you're a love energy, and you're going to see that and learn that, if you're a love energy, if you're a wisdom energy, and you're out of whack, you're not in alignment with who you are going to get stuck. And you are going to procrastinate. And you're going to step away, and you're not going to do what you need to do. Because we all know successful people do what other people are not willing to do. And they talk about this, about getting out of the comfort zone. It's actually opposite. It's about getting into your comfort zone. Because when you are in alignment with you and you're in flow, there is no such thing as getting out of comfort zone. You're just showing up as you. And you have that. So let me just bear with me one moment. I need to make sure everybody is in. Confirm. Still getting people to sign up. I think next time when I do this, I'm going to do the first day on my business page. Nobody has to sign up. Then move it into the private page. So even though I've sold medical alarm buttons, because when after 9/11 and after certain in between periods, when I left, because as you know, I'm a 9/11 survivor too. And after 9/11, and I had to close down my multi-million-dollar stock trading company. We just couldn't survive anymore. And now I'm back out on my own. And now I was determined to not commute to New York City. I had my kids late in life. I had my daughter at 36, my son at 40. And here I am in my early 40s. My kids are young. Well, my son was 4 at 9/11. My daughter was 8. So they're 4 years old, and I was determined to figure out how to work from New Jersey and how to work from home so I could be there for my kids, not deal with all this craziness. Because quite frankly, there was a while there where I was afraid to go to work after 9/11. My building, because it was the commodity exchange building, the mercantile exchange building, was open a week later. So it was very scary. I would come home with a sore throat every day, and I was like, this is crazy. What am I doing? Put everything into perspective, right? It's just craziness. So that's when I came back to that. And, when we closed that business, I went back into direct sales. And then I've had a falling out with the product. I wasn't so totally in alignment with the product anymore. Wasn't doing it. And that's when I did a lot of soul searching, a lot of self-discovery, and realized what I love to do, and I've always been called to do, is what I've been doing all along, is empowering women and really doing this work. And I was out there seeing women, and I'm going to networking meetings now, because when I was in corporate, I was kind of out of the flux, but now I'm back in direct sales and going to networking meetings, and I was just seeing women playing small and not stepping up and not being clear on what they do or who they are, not asking for the sale, not asking for the order. And it was like pissing me off. It really, really hurts when I see that, because I know how powerful we are as women, and I know we all have this capability. And so this is why I want to have this training this week, because this is a huge area that I don't see a lot of people speaking about. Although it's ironically, so the universe is funny. I decided to do this program here, and I've seen 2 people in my circle that are doing trainings on client enrollment all of a sudden. I was like, interesting. All the same time, overlapping, same time. One starting Friday, one's I think starting today. Interesting, right? So, but I am here because, I put this 5 days together so that we can not have this area be a stuckness in our area, because it's such an important piece. Once you master how to find clients, sign on clients, speak to people, close people, have them join your team, is to be right one. The woman's way, these are feminine tools I'm going to be bringing here this week. Total feminine tools. This is where I love it. So before I get started, we're going to dive in. See, we're 30 minutes into it. Perfect. I want to dive in. I want to, still learning this new system. Yes, get into your comfort zone. Thank you. Who said that? I love that. So, okay. I wrote a whole bunch of pre-titles, but how come I can't see them? Interesting. Learning a new system. See, I'm being gutsy right now by doing this training with a brand new system. I was planning on doing it on Facebook Live. Last minute, had to switch to this so I could share all my stuff. And now I'm learning a new system. So you're watching me out of comfort zone doing this. So follow. You can follow me. So, I think this is it. Oh, I found it. Yay. I'm so excited. It's the little things that make you excited, right? So first of all, we're gonna dive in now. We're gonna talk about our core values, and we're gonna talk about some client attraction mindset. And I'm gonna do the client attraction mindset first. So, and then we're gonna go into the core values. So, I first of all want to show everybody to say, yes, I can. I want you to put it in the comments and put your name, put it in the name and say, Kathleen, yes, I can. Eileen, yes, I can. Cherry, yes, I can. Let's just start getting you into that frame of mind of just starting to believe in yourself. Because when I was talking about earlier about you have to believe in your products, but you are your product. So you have to believe in you. So I know you want the script part and you want all this, but this is the foundation. This is the foundation. You are the foundation. So start being even positive in your mindset and opening up your mind, opening up your heart. Let's take a deep breath in. Slowly let it out. And just relax and tune into your body right now. Into why are you here? What is it that you want to bring to the world? What are your ideas? What are your passions? What are you called to be? And this is, just release everything from the day. We have halfway day. It's Monday. Let that all go. Let that all go. And just tap into our wisdom. You can put your hands right down below your belly button. What we could call our Yanni. It's our wise woman where she lies. Put your hands there. And just ask her what she wants to tell you right now. And then come and say, yes, I can. I can do this. I can be that influencer that I know deep down inside I am. I can be that woman that I was meant to be. And I can be masterful at sales. And I can sign on 10 clients. I can get 10 clients in the next 30 days. Say that. I can get 10 clients in the next 30 days. So let's put together and let's show. Let's see if I can open it up. Nope. Okay. Close on that. Let's see if I can share my screen page, see if it comes up correctly. Let's see if I could do this. Okay. Let's go. All right. Let me hide that. Close that. There's a lot of buttons on here. Can you see? Can you let me know what you see? Yes, I can get 10. Love it, love it, love it. No, see, you're not. All right, I am doing something wrong with sharing my screen. I am opening up a page, so if it opens up, if you can please let me know if you can see it. Okay. It's not opening. All right, we're going to have to do this without handouts. I will get this fixed by tomorrow, I promise. And okay. All right. Plan B. But so I'm going to read them to you, and I'm going to talk, because here's the deal. What rituals do you have when you wake up in the morning? I have lots of rituals that, be journaling, and I'm praying, and, I'm like, I kind of write down. I've actually been following, and I love it, Brendan Burchard's new planner. I actually thought it was quite expensive. I mean, here's my, it's like, I bought the yellow one, of course. You know me, if you know me, I like a lot of colors. I'm the lady that doesn't wear black. But there's like beautiful questions in the beginning, like, what is one thing I can get excited about today? Someone who needs me to be on my A game today, and a situation that might stress me out or trip me up today. And what's a way that I could handle it if that does? So it's like, this is great, because it's like, if you could think about it ahead of time, if you could foresee and what might happen, because that a distraction that might come into play, that's awesome. What's one, he says bold, but I'm going to say, what is one gutsy action I can take today? If you wake up like that and you start creating that into yourself, and you're doing meditations and visualization, all this helps with getting you, those are feminine tools, believe it or not, to help you pick up the phone and talk to people. So I want to create an I am statement. Let's create an I am statement. So okay. So because I am statements is about, when you say I am, it's powerful words. Words are worlds. Your words are so, so powerful. And when you say I am, it starts to get into every cell of your body. You start to get into that belief, because you have to create the belief. You have to create that belief in you, that you are powerful, that you are great at what you do, and you're great at it. And you're just here to have beautiful conversations with people who need what you have to offer. That's all it is. It's just conversations. It's sharing. It's serving. It's coming from that place of serve, because selling is love. And selling, and when you sell from your soul, and when you sell from love, you can't go wrong. And it's going to feel good. You're not going to feel salesy. You're not going to feel yucky. You're not going to feel manipulative. And I'm going to show you all that. But let's get into an I am statement. So, because it's a future-based statement. And I need to bring you, your body and your mind and everything, into that future-based right now. So are you tracking with me on this? So you could see my page. Go as far as you can see, and you get there, you'll see further. So you see the pictures. You said it, but it doesn't feel true. By the end of the 5 days, it will feel true. It will feel true. And even by today, when we start doing our core values, you're going to start for it to feel true. I don't know who said that. Let me know who said about not feeling true. If you want to share who you are. Okay. But I am statement is a future statement that is really of who you want to become. So if you're not feeling it now, who do you want to become? That's what we're going to do our statements right now. I am. Who do you want to become? And you don't have to feel it right now, but you keep saying it, you keep working on it, and you know what? You will become it. It's like what I was saying earlier about stepping into it, stepping into the role. When you step into the role, and because what happens is when you step into the role, it really starts happening one piece at a time, one step at a time. And you start stepping into that big picture you're seeing by taking baby steps. But those baby steps don't have to be one step today, one step next week, one step 3 months from now. That's a mistake many of us make. Those baby steps need to be daily and they need to be consistent. You need to be constantly just moving forward. It could be tiny, tiny little snail moving forward, but it just has to be moving forward. As long as you're moving forward every single day, you will become who you want to become. That's what courage, that's what confidence comes from, and it all comes into it. So that's just where you do that. Thank you for saying that. You love that I said selling is love. Yes, because selling is love. When you believe, that's why it's so easy when you believe in a product to sell, because you believe in the product. So, like what you see this all the time with direct sales. With network marketers, they use the product first. Then they fell in love with the product. And once they fell in love with the product, they were easily able to share it with everyone because they know what it did for them, or they know what it did for their friends and their family and and other people. But we're coaches, we're consultants, we're healers, we're transformational agents, we're thought leaders. We are the innovators of the world. I've seen your results on your core values. You are the visionaries of the world, and you are the innovators of the world. You are the thought leaders of the world. We are selling ourselves. And to sell ourselves, we need to love ourselves. We need to love ourselves to sell ourselves. Because if you don't love you, how can you ask anyone else to love you? Because that's what when you're doing a sales conversation with somebody, or you're meeting people and you're in you're in a networking event, you're asking them to love you. And it's a lot easier if you already love yourself. And that's why we're starting this today with who do you want to become? And then let me show you who you are through the core values assessment so you could fall in love with you. Today's all going to be, this is what I probably should have titled this, How to Fall in Love with You. This is today's session. I'm going to change that for the future. It's not about it, because the end result, yes, is client attraction mindset. But client attraction mindset is falling in love with you. So how to fall in love with you. So I'm writing myself a note. So here's some examples of some I am statements that I want you to start thinking about. And I want you to start putting together. So even do I am a high client magnet. Say it. Say it out loud. Type it in if you want. I am a high-end client magnet. Say that. I am a charismatic, high-end client attracting magnet. I am a charismatic, high-end client attracting magnet. I am a powerhouse, high-end client attractive woman who signs on new clients with grace and ease. I'll repeat that again. I am a powerhouse, high-end client attracting woman who signs on new clients with grace and ease. I am an unstoppable attractor of beautiful, high-end clients who love signing on to work with me. I will give this as a handout so you can have it later since we can't see this together. I am a queen of creating new client leads. I am an amazing platinum client attracting coach. I am a high vibe client magnet. Are you tracking with me on this? I am a high client attracting magnet. Yes, love that you said that. I am a powerful, visible, magnetizing transformation and business coach, or life coach, or healer, or wellness coach, whatever you are. Put in the blanks. I am a coach. I am a consultant. I'm a transformer. Again, you fill all this in. I am a coach who easily attracts high-end business women. I am a charismatic, having trouble saying that word, wisdom guide who easily attracts women who are ready to invest in their highest level. Now, a lot of these were some money, because I want to get us going with the money. We're ending Friday with money, but I wanted to even start with because they're future statements. So I'm starting today with I am high-end client attracting machine, and because we're going to be ending on Friday all about the money. So, oh, who loved I Am a Queen of High-End Attraction Magnet? A queen. I am a queen. I am. So, when we get off this call, I will I'll put this into the group as well. But take some time, take a few moments. Find your I am statement that energizes you, that juices you up, that gets you excited, that feels you, that you're like, yes, this gets me excited. Love it. So, you're like, does it energize you when you say it? Because that is you listening to your feminine side. That's you taking a moment to stop, get out of your head, and listen to your body and let it tell you what's going to motivate you. Because if you know what motivates you, oh man, you are good to go. You are so good to go. So, and does it feel powerful for you? Is it exciting for you? So these are some of the exercises. We're going to be doing mindset throughout the event, but what I want to do is I want to start now tapping into our core values. So the core values assessment, I am going to see if I can add a photo, because I just put it in there. Now, okay. Oops. Trying to add the photo of the core values so you can see it. But that just shows me this. Okay. So how many of you have taken the core values? If you've taken the core values assessment, what I'd like you to do is show me what you were. If you recall, you were either, there's 4 core values. There is the merchant, there's the innovator, there's the builder, and there's the knowledge. So, and you were given your top 2. So just post here, give me your name and what your core value was. So there's 4 core values. Each value, most of us so far, everyone that I've seen that's taken it, obviously if you filled it out in the last, half hour or an hour or so, I didn't see it, but merchant innovator, and that was majority of us here in here are merchant innovators or innovator merchants. Okay, which is awesome. And by the way, with the I am statement, I want you to write it down. I'm going to tell you, but I want you to be speaking it out loud. I want you to saying it out loud every morning, every evening. Put it on Post-it notes. Put it on your TV. Put it on well, most of us shouldn't be watching too much TV anyway. Put it on your refrigerator. Put it everywhere where that you get to see it, so you get reminded of it. It's like, you need to be seeing that evidence that's starting to come true, to strengthen that belief. Because like I said, someone had said earlier that they said it, but they didn't believe it. Well, this is how you start to strengthen that belief, is by saying it over and over and over again. So what is your core value? We have merchant innovator, innovator merchant. Oh, we have a knowledge. Yay. I didn't see that come through. So we have our first knowledge, which is all good. And I'm going to go through, briefly describe all 4, and then going to relate that to sales. I just wanted to see if anybody else needs to come into the Facebook group. Hold on. Finally got all my, cool. We're good to go. So, and I apologize that you can't see this right now. So if you signed up and registered for this program, which most likely you did if you're in this group, you have gotten emails with links. I'll also put a link in this group as well, but you have emails with the link to take this assessment. It takes 10 minutes. literally takes 10 minutes. You do need a quiet time. You get a set of 4 words, and then you just have to put those words in order of how it resonates with you. So which is the one that resonates the most, the next, the next, and the next. And you just don't put too much time into it. Don't put too much effort into it. Don't overthink it. You can't cheat on this. One word is not better than another word. So, okay, I'm just seeing if we have any other comments. One word is not, better than another. So it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. One energy is not better than another. There's no right or wrong. So it's all good. This is a test to really kind of just help you, show you who you are at your unchanged, innate, unchanging nature. It's unchanging nature of a person. That what this test does is, so Abraham Maslow, who's the famous scientist that did the if you've seen the scale, the self-actualization scale, have the ladder that we grow to be in our peak performance. Well, here at Taylor Protocols, we have our own self-actualization program, but this is what he called. He's the one that actually called this your unchanging innate nature of a person. This is it describes where a person, where you can make your highest and best contribution. So you have a report on it. I am going to, for those that hear live, so I do need you to post your names when you said bonus. If you said bonus before and didn't put your name next to it, then go ahead and put it in again. Yeah, a couple of you just said bonus. Put your name, because I'm going to pick 2 people from today's live event that I'm going to allow you to have the full, complete report. And it's a beautiful, full, complete report that it shows you not only who you are, but it shows you your negative conflict strategies. It shows you your learning styles. It's an amazing report. But this uses very strategic and tactical values, of who we are, and it's got a 94% repeat score of reliability. And the only one that cares that I said that is actually Gurjet. I hope I'm not saying your name wrong. Let me know if I'm saying it right. Gurjit. And because you're a knowledge, so you're a knowledge, you want to know that it's a 94% repeat score liability. If you're a love energy, which is the merchant energy, you don't care that it's a repeat. It's like if you read the instructions and you says, wow, this is so me, that's all you care about, because that's what's important to you. It's because you go from your gut, you go from your intuition. Same thing with a power energy. You go based on intuition. The banker, which is the knowledge, and the innovator, which is the wisdom, are cognitive energies. The builder power and the merchant love energy are your intuitive energies. So there are 4 energies. There is the first one I'm going to describe is our knowledge banker energy, which only I believe one person here has in on that. And it's interesting because most knowledge, because unless you're a knowledge love energy, merchant energy. So Gurjit, you said knowledge, but if you could give me what your second one was, I would appreciate it. It would help me. But the knowledge energy for the banker, these are the people who really go by facts and figures and numbers. I mean, this is everything that's important to them. They are, their knowledge is the how and why of things. Okay. They, their catalyst is justice. So these are the people that we know. They're saying it's like, how you can tell sometimes, like without even taking a test, or if you're speaking to somebody, or if this is like you're the person that's saying, no, it can't be done. That's because a banker, knowledge has to have the knowledge, has to have the proof. They do everything based on proof and facts and research. And, so everything that they do is really, really based on all that. And so they're there saying, I'm studying that right now. Go ahead. I'm knowledge person also, 99% minutes. I don't know what 99% minutes mean by that, but a knowledge person would be saying that even if we succeed, it's not enough. We've never done it this way before. So remember, they're cognitive. They're not the intuitive, going out there and they're not the person that's going to like do something first, in the strong values. So that's, so the knowledge, banker, basically the main thing to know about the knowledge banker is that everything you knowledge is based on facts and research and proof, and it's done before, and so your contribution to the world is huge, because we need that. We can't have all visionaries in the world, and if we were all 100% visionaries in the world, it wouldn't be such a great world. Right? So so that's with the knowledge. The next one I want to go to is builder. Builder is more of a power. It's what I call the core value is power. This is the individual who knows what to do and knows what to do next. So when this is easy, like if you know the Nike commercial, like just do it, that's a power energy. The power energy is the person that's always getting things done. Bottom line, if you're someone that's talking like, I'm a bottom line thinker, I'm a bottom line, it's all about action, 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 action. Everything's about action and results. Where the power banker energy, everything was about information. They're all about, and they're conservative. So it's all about information. But the power, it's all about action and results. But this is a intuitive energy, because you're catalyzed by faith. You have the faith. You could tap into your faith. And so I don't mean the religious faith, but if you are religious, yeah, then power energies could tap into that faith pretty easily. But you have that faith that you know what to do now, and you know what to do next. Say high five if that's you. If you are power energy and that sounds like you, you are like, decide and do. Let's get it done. Let's go. Let's move. You're the person that's saying, get out of my way. Get out of my way. I am going. I am doing it. And I am, and I'll do it. And I'll make it happen. These are things. And, sometimes you could even see someone that's a very strong power energy. It's like, I don't care what I said yesterday. Here's what I'm saying today. So, how many of us have a boss like that? I don't care what I said yesterday. I may have told you this yesterday, but today, this is what I'm saying, and this is how we're doing it. That is a power builder energy. All good. Power building energies, can come. We need the people out there who could take the action and get the results, and and have that, knowing what to do. All good. Then there's the innovator. The innovator wisdom energy is the person that is really catalyzed by wisdom. Everything is about the wisdom. The wisdom is they assess and solve. It's all about assessing solutions. Just seeing if anybody else wants to get in. It's about assessing solutions. So you are the idea person. You're the one, if you come up with a lot of ideas and you have a lot of solutions, this is wisdom energy. And you're catalyzed by compassion. So compassion is, remembering to be empathetic. So, sometimes it could seem a little similar to the knowledge banker, but it's different in that this is about, you're curious regardless of the behavior and emotions of others. Okay. So you like to assess situations, solve it, which is why you do what you do, because you have solutions and you're here and you're like, I have solutions. I'm here. I want to put them out. Which is really great, because you're here to figure things out, and everything is figure outable. And I haven't said downsides of the other one, but the one downside that I know is you ask a lot of questions. So if you meet somebody that's asking a lot of questions, if you're somebody close to you in your life and they ask a lot of questions, they're like probably a wisdom energy. If you ask a lot of questions, you're a wisdom energy, which is good, because when you're doing strategy sessions and you're signing on clients and you're doing even client intake forms and all that stuff, that's when you tap into that energy. That's your power. That's your power to ask these questions, to get to the bottom of the answer. As a coach, we need to ask a lot of questions to get to the bottom of it, right? So lots of coaches, lots of healers, lots of, which is why, as you can see, yep, that's me. Christine, the power energy I know you're talking about, right? That's why I hired you, Christine. That's why, see, you know, I, have a virtual assistant, right? Christine George, and she gets things done, and she's very detailed and she organized, so she could organize me, so I could be my visionary, because I am a very high love energy. So she lets me be me, lets me do what I do best, and I let her do what she does best, and together we work together as a great team. This is why collaboration in today's world is so, so important. Co-creating together, collaborating, having a team, all this works, because all this together makes really, like, a full circle that's complete, right? So wisdom energy, so the downfall of the wisdom energy, all your wisdoms out there, great at solving solution, great at coming up with lots of ideas. The problem is there's always another better idea. It always can get better. And because it always can get better, sometimes you fall into the procrastination mode of the perfectionist. It's not perfect. I know it could be better. It's not perfect. I know I could do better. I know there's a better solution. So you hold off on showing this solution because you know there's a better solution. So that's sometimes a downfall. Each one of these have positives, and each one of these have downfalls. It's learning them, understanding them, mastering them, and I'm going to relate it to sales. So the last one is the creative. Is very creative. So the wisdom energy and the love energy, you're the creatives of the world. You're creating. You're constantly creating. If you are a love energy, wisdom energy, you're constantly creating. If you are a power or a banker, the knowledge energy, you are the practical side. Okay. So I wish I had the picture on this, especially you love merchant energies. You're like probably dying. It's like, because, and I know because I'm a love energy, and like I like to talk and listen. I'm a visual, like to see things. And so I promise I will get that. And I will put, you've seen the index in your report, but I'll also put it into the Facebook group. So love energy. Love energy is, merchant energy. These are the visionaries of the world. These are the energies that is all about relationships. It's all about the connections. Everything is about the relationships and the connections. And you're catalyzed by truth. So everything is about truth. So this is why mostly everybody that's here is a love energy or wisdom energy, because you're the two energies that really, really, really struggle with selling yourself the most. Because think about it. You're catalyzed by truth as love energy, right? If you are, I bet, raise your hand, screaming out loud and clear, in that you don't like when people sell you. You don't like when people are fake, and not even in a sales environment, fake at all. You don't like frauds. You don't like when people aren't being truthful to you. You don't like when people are being manipulative, when they're being salesy, they're being like, they're trying to convince you to do things. You will shut down. And the higher your number, so when you look at your report, you could see the boxes. So the boxes, 36 is the point score system, goes from a 1 to a 36. So halfway through 36 is right at that, that's a 15 and 18 mark, right? So if you're at a perfect square, if you look at your 4 squares and one of your squares for each energy is like a perfect rectangle, then you're right around that 18. See, me. That's totally a love energy. That's saying me. Like you get so excited and it's like, yay! You're the huggers of the world. You're the high energy. That's totally true. You're at a solid score. So anything like from like a score of 18 and above, you're solid in that energy. If you see your triangle going beyond a rectangle and it starts looking like some weird shape, it's like pointing up, or it's depending if it's down, like in the wisdom, it's pointing down, then you are very strong in that energy. Very, very, very strong. I will take a look. And if you want to know a little bit more of what you have, then, you will do that. So yes, You don't like manipulative people. So think about it. So now we don't love energies. We don't like when people manipulate us. We don't like when people are salesy to us. We don't like when people are fake. We don't like pseudo people. We don't like imposters. If we don't fully believe in ourselves, and if we don't fully love ourselves strongly and have that full belief in us, what do you think is going in the back of your mind when you're picking up the phone to call somebody? I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do. Although I've been known to do that quite a bit in my lifetime. In good ways. Only because I believed in what I was pushing. I'll give you an example. I was at college and Kool and the Gang was coming to the college. Brand new group back then. This is the 70s, ladies. So for all you millennials, Kool, I was in the era when Kool and the Gang came out. My roommate, actually, my suite mate, she was actually from Harlem in New York City, and she had all these connections with groups and musicians, and she would bring all these groups to play at Stony Brook University in Long Island. And Kool and the Gang came and played, and everybody was so excited. We were in the gym, we had a huge dance floor in the middle of the gym. So you know gyms, how big their middle floor is. They're playing and nobody is dancing. And I'm like, oh my God, this music is great. I'm like, let's go. And so I was with my roommate, and it was just her. I grabbed her and I said, come on, we're doing this. We're getting on that dance floor. And she was like, there's nobody on the dance floor. I said, doesn't matter. We're going. We got on the dance floor. By the time that song ended, the dance floor, you couldn't see the floor. So yeah, I've pushed people in ways. That's my high love energy. But I've only pushed if I believed in the product. I believed that if we got dancing on the floor, we were going to all have a good time. And that was true. So it enabled me to push. So I want you to, are you getting what I'm saying? It's like, it's not manipulating. It's not being, it's like, I believed that what I had to offer was good. So when I'm in a conversation with somebody and I'm having a discovery call, and we're going to get more into this on Wednesday, right? But I'm having a discovery call. I'm really just finding out what they're all about. And I'm finding out what their problem is. And if I feel that I have that solution, if I know deep down in my bones that I have the solution, I can help this person, then I have no problem being an assertive love energy and asking them to step into their power and say yes to themselves. See, where a lot of coaches and consultants falter if you're in a love energy, or especially even a wisdom energy too, but in love energy, it's like you're afraid to push that little extra because you're afraid that you're going to be pushy and salesy. And no, it's not. You're being a disservice to them. So you love people. You're love energy. You're all about relationships and you're all about connections. So if you love them and you know you could help them, then it's in your moral obligation to do everything in your power to help that person make the wisest decision about themselves. We're not convincing them what decision to make. We're just helping them. You're guiding them to help them step into their power. Because so many people want your programs, but they don't know how to step into their own power. Their self-doubt is stopping them. It's not you. It's not that they don't want you. It's not that they don't want your price. It's not that they don't want your program. They don't think they can do it. So many times where you got to get out of your head. We think it's about us. It's about, oh, I'm not speaking it well. Oh, I'm not doing this. It's all about us listening to them, listening to connect, not listening. You want to build trust? You listen to connect. You don't listen to respond. You don't listen to just say what you want to say. You don't listen so that you could then add in what you've been dying to say as soon as the person shut up. No, you listen to respond. You ask questions that you don't know the answers to. You wait, and then you see. And then this is where you tap into your wisdom energy, even your power energy, and even your knowledge energy, whatever you have, and to see is like, okay, am I a fit for this person? Is this a person fit for me? Because when it comes down to the bottom line, when you do all this right, it's never about the money. It's about you showing that value and you not letting them have power over you. It's about power with. Well, leadership is about power with. It's not about power over. Consultation calls, signing on clients is not about a power over. It's not about you overpowering someone to say yes to you. It's about power with. It's about coming together and rising together. And saying, one person here on this end is saying, I need this. And the other person on this says, I can help you with this. And it's a match. That's why we call it soul clients. Because it's not a soul client, just like a soulmate. It's not one person loving the other person and the other person doesn't love them. That's not a soulmate, right? What's a soulmate? What's the definition of a soulmate? That's the definition of a soul client, is that you love the client and the client loves you. You both love each other. That's what it's all about. So if you are in love energy, what happens is you tend to talk yourself out of a sale because you're always, you want to do the right thing. You want to make sure that they always constantly love you. See, the thing of when your fear, so let's do the fears of all these four energies. The fear of love energy is not being loved. It's the opposite of whatever you are. It's not being loved. And when you are not feeling loved, your conflict strategy will go into manipulation. And you can start to manipulate situations in order to get the love back. So this is why it's so important that you love yourself and you recognize that, hey, yeah, I am a love energy. I am about relationships. I am about connections. I am a great person. I know what I have to offer. I'm here to serve the world. So come from that. Find your assertiveness from your love of serving the world, and you won't go into your manipulation strategy. That only happens when you don't feel loved. So that's love. So wisdom energy, your fear is the opposite. What's the opposite of wisdom? Being wise. It's your fear of looking like a fool. So wisdom energy person it's sometimes where they could get stuck is not saying things because they don't want to be wrong. They're afraid to make mistakes. They're afraid to say things that are wrong. They're afraid that, the person's going to take it the wrong way. And if you're a combination of a merchant innovator, there's love, wisdom, you got both of those things going on at the same time. Do you see how this can affect you in you showing up as your best? And when you feel like a fool, that's when, and think about it, if you're wisdom energy, if you're high wisdom energy, do you ever interrogate anybody? Because that's your manipulation strategy. Not your manipulation strategy, that's your conflict strategy. Is that you start to interrogate. You start asking lots of questions because you're just trying to ask questions because you need to get back to be the wise person in the room. You need to be the one that's the wise person on the call. And you know what? Probably at that point, that's when you need to shift out of your wisdom energy and into your love energy. See, you can't be in one of these energies more than once at a time. You can only be one energy at a time. You can't be love and wisdom simultaneously. You're either love or wisdom. You can't be power and love at the same time. You're either power or love. So you switch back and forth. So for the powers in the room, you're catalyzed by faith. What is your fear? What's the opposite of power? Your fear is looking weak. Your fear is not having that power, not being in control. You despise not being in control. Right? So think how that affects you when you're on a strategy call and you're meeting people and you're having a conversation with somebody possibly hiring you to do some work with you. And that comes into play. How does that come into play? Think about that. So if you're constantly wanting just to be the power of the call and not, you could, not like stop and listen and see, let your intuition, to start to play. And then the knowledge energy, you catalyze by justice. So, what's your fear? What's the opposite of knowledge? It's almost like being like the wisdom energy, looking like a fool, but it's like not having the answers. So a knowledge person can get stuck where they're going to ask me a question I don't know the answer to. Wisdom can do this too, but knowledge even more so. So it's, your manipulation strategy there, your conflict strategy there is aloof judgment. And by the way, with the power, your conflict strategy is intimidation. So if you find yourself starting to intimidate people, and now you're you're getting into this intimidation mode, and if you're speaking with somebody and you're going to start intimidating, you're just, because you're feeling out of power, you're feeling out of control, and you need to get that control back. So you're going to start intimidating people. So if someone is a dysfunctional power energy, then dysfunctional power energy, if you're in a dysfunctional power energy, then, do you think intimidation is going to get you the sale? It's going to get the client loving you? I don't think so. So is this making sense? I want to hear what's an aha. What's your biggest challenge with sales right now when it comes to, what I've just been speaking about, whether, if you're a love energy and, it's being afraid of not being loved. It's like, being truthful, coming from that assertiveness, being a place of service and not feeling like, you're going to be pushy, that wisdom energy of, really having all the answers, having too many answers, things like that. The power energy, the knowledge energy. Let me know. I'd love to hear from it. I'd love to hear from you. It's 2:16. We only have like less than 15 minutes left. So there is something, I've done trainings on this. This could be a full-fledged training in itself. But this is important information that, that's good to know when connecting with people. See, yeah, you're getting to see, like, so I don't know who said it, but she says, no wonder my friend who is an attorney intimidates me when she doesn't understand. And that's a very good point. So I have a client who's an attorney, and I've had a few attorney clients, and they come in to run into this problem a lot because attorneys tend to have a lot of that great wisdom energy, which is that's what makes them good attorneys. But, a lot of the women attorneys today also have the love energy. So they've always had that dichotomy back and forth. And so I have a client who's been an attorney and is coaching. And she was struggling with doing, these calls because her natural tendency was, Donna said it. Okay, thanks, Donna. Her natural tendency was to go into that, very sales mode, she put a sales hat on because, hold on, to put on her sales hat because that's what she did as a wisdom energy. That's what she did in the courtroom. But in a consultation call, it's you got to let go of that outcome. You got to sit back and you got to listen and you got to connect with people and you got to tap into that love energy and build that relationship. But when it comes to the sale, you got to shift out of that love energy and tap into, if you have access to it, if you have a strong power energy, you could tap into it or tap into the wisdom energy or the knowledge. But if, let's say, you are love energy and very low on power energy, which is fine often. I find often a lot of people that are probably here today that coming onto my programs, they're high on their love energy, they're high on their wisdom energy, but they're low on the power energy. And what's stopping them is that they're trying to be the power energy because they know they need to get things done. They know they need to ask for the sale. They know they need to get to the results. They know they need to get to the bottom line, but they're not comfortable there because they're not naturally a power energy. And if their number's low, it's very difficult to tap into it. So what do? What do you do? Well, as love energy, you tap into your assertiveness. You tap into selling with love. This is why lots of you had said, I love selling with love, because that's how we need to do it. We need to do what's in alignment with who we are. And we got to come from that place of love. And the come from that place of love is that I'm serving. That's where the I am statement. I am a high-end client attraction magnet because I serve others with love. I serve others with love. So if you could tap into the love. So when someone's saying no, because maybe they're saying no to themselves, you need to tap into your love energy and find out why they're saying no to themselves. They're not saying no to you. So you got to recognize that. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. And if you're a love energy, you're a wisdom energy, you need to find out. You tap into the wisdom energy, ask the questions of what is that that's blocking them from saying that they're saying no to themselves? What is, love energy? What is that that's blocking them? Let them step into their power. We don't have the right to know if a client, if a client makes a decision whether to work with you or not, that's their decision. And we don't have the right to play God and say whether they can afford our program, whether they are ready for the program, whether, we've done our questions to see and feel whether you think they're ready. But remember, like what I said earlier about when I was the national sales director for a direct sales company, and here I was to sell to the entire distributorship. Every rep in the country was under me, and I had to do the sales. And I never did that role before, and and I've only been in direct sales for like less than 2 years going into that. So I had to step into the role. That's because that woman believed in me more than I believed in myself. So there are people you were speaking to, whether or not to hire you for whatever service and product you're offering them. And they're coming from that place of mind. And you need to tap into your love energy, if that's what you are, to let them step into their power, to believe in them more than they believe in themselves. So many times what happens is we're in a love energy and someone's saying no, and you went into your head and you took it personally, and you took it as like they're saying no to you, and it shut you down. And then that might activate your manipulation, but it shut you down versus you saying, you know what? I'm going to play bold here, and I'm going to say what I feel, and I'm going to speak what I feel, because this person needs me to speak what I feel right now, because if I don't, then I'm letting this person get off this phone call just as weak as they were when they got on the phone call. See, that's how I look at my calls. I look at them as I'm here to serve them, and if they're right fit for me, it's my moral obligation to make sure that I'm giving them everything in their power for them to step into their power and say yes to themselves. Because that's what I'm asking them to do. I'm not asking them to say yes to me. I'm asking them to say yes to themselves. That's a huge distinction. I want to hear from everybody. Is that a distinction that you've ever thought of before? Does that open up like an aha for you? Please, and say your name too, because I am a high love energy. I'm a high love energy. I very high love energy, which I never knew, and I'm a power energy second, and then wisdom third. I'm very low in my knowledge. So, because my love energy was so, I'll tell you a story. Because my love energy was so squashed when I was young. I had a family that didn't openly show love, weren't very huggy and touchy. Lots of Italian broads that are out there, addicted to being right and speaking loud over one another and doing all this. And, I didn't feel the love. And so love energies, fear of rejection is huge for you. Huge. Because you want to be loved. So that cut me down. That shut down my love energy, because I built an emotional wall to protect me so that I wouldn't get rejected. But, when you're going into business, that's what it took me around. Is that emotional wall that I put up to protect me was the same wall that was tearing down my dreams, because that wall wasn't allowing me to connect with people. And I was showing up in my power energy at all the wrong times, in all the wrong places. And I was trying to manipulate with the love energy, but I was also trying to intimidate. I was also trying to control. I was also trying to get in my head and do everything myself and be in control. And if I just be in my, So I was living and tapping into an energy that wasn't, right at many times. So mastering this core values is about mastering which energy should I be in. So learn these energies and learn who you are. And when you're in a situation and when you're on a sales call, when you're meeting people at networking events, when you're calling people up to get appointments, which energy, when you're listening to the conversation, which energy should you be in at that moment in time? Is this a good time for my love energy? For me to love on people, for me to have that relationships, for me to because we're great at that. Love energies, you are great at meeting people and people liking you. But you know what? You are a perfect person to oversell yourself. Love energies make great salespeople, same as power energies. But when a love energy tries to tap into a power energy that they don't have to sell, that doesn't work. We need to love from our strengths. And we need to love on one another. And when we're in a call, sometimes what happens is we keep loving and 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 we keep loving, and we never ask for the sale. We never go down. Love energies are the perfect people who go and say, let's get together for a cup of coffee to get to know one another. And 3 hours later, you're shooting the breeze, talking about your family, doing everything else. And you didn't get down to the agenda. Because if neither one of you were power energy in that room, it's so easy just to talk and shoot the breeze and be like, I want to feel good. I want this person to like me. And you oversell yourself and you over deliver your love because you feel like they don't like me enough yet, because you're so afraid of not being loved that you have to give more love, and you feel you have to give more love, and then you're squashing down your wisdom energy when that's a time when you should be asking questions. It's like, okay, love energy, time to shift. It's time to shift in that wisdom energy and start asking questions. And start asking the person the questions that they need to move forward. And you need to do that from your love energy because you're placing it as service. You're being of service by asking these questions. They could be tough questions. You ask Eileen, because you're a high love energy like me. We know that. So you got to ask the tough questions from that place of love. But you need to shift and tap into your wisdom. So know who you are. And if you're a power energy and you're a love energy, shift into your power energy so that when it comes down to that person stepping into their power and saying yes to themselves, you came from your highest and best contribution to this world. You brought what was best to the table at that moment in time for that person to make that best decision on whether they should do business with you or not. So, this is good. This is helpful. Come into energy is everything. Absolutely. So since I can't see who's speaking, let's continue this conversation in the private Facebook group. Let's have any questions. You have questions you have on this. I'm going to put in the IN statement. I'm going to put in the builder so you can see the tools. You can see the answers with everything. And your questions really should be your homework. So let me give you homework because then we could call it a day. Your homework really is to go out there and tonight for your I am statement, especially for you that didn't have the I am statement, is to write down all your gifts, write down all your talents, write down everything you've done, every award you've won in your entire life. Write down, whether you were an A student, you did great on things. Write down everything about yourself, and take an inventory. Take an inventory on who you are. Take inventory on your gifts. Take inventory on your talents. And if you can't do that, then come into the group, because I'll be happy to pull it out of you, because that's what I do. That is my specialty is pulling that out of you, pulling that talent out of you for you to find yourself. I'm not giving you the talent. I'm just here to help you find your talent. I'm here to find your gift, and I'm here for you to show. So big yes. This Susan says, this is great. Me too. Energy is everything. I love it when it's said that way. Haven't thought about it this way before. I like the thought. So this is just the beginning. This is just beginning. So come back tomorrow, come into the Facebook group, have conversations, giving out homework there. Share this if you think this was great and you want to start sharing it. It's not too late for anybody to join, because the recording, once they register, they will get recordings. And then they'll also, like I said, each one is a standalone day, so that, somebody could come to tomorrow's session and get this session on Thursday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can find, I could show you where to find clients before I show you the, your mindset and on how to attract the clients. So it doesn't matter what order it comes in. Roe, me too. Yes, Roe, me too. Is that a hashtag you want to start? Who is that? So come on, let's continue conversation over into the Facebook group. Share this with your friends. Love for you to do that, and be back tomorrow live. So, and then I need to know, so I am going to take a look at this. I'm going to find the bonus, because 2 of you are going to get the full program on this. And some of you have it already. Because like I know, Cherry, you do. And, so I'm going to go in. I have a list of everyone who's taken the core values. If you haven't taken the core values assessment, do it now. I will pull the bonus at, I have to leave at 3:30. So I'm going to pull the bonus by 3:30. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to see who's taken the class, who was live. If you were live here today and you've taken the class, then I'm going to give 2 people that they get the full report on this, which is so juicy. So juicy. So Eileen, I think you have the full report. So we got Joanne, Deborah, Christine. See, I only know first names. This is going to be tough. Going to be tough to pull. So I'm going to try to figure this out. Normally I would pull it right here, but since I'm not seeing the names, it makes it tough. And some of you already have the full report, so I don't want to give somebody a full report that already has it. So I'm going to figure this out, but 2 of you will get it, and I will know who they are, and then I will post it in the group who they are. So thank you for joining me. It is 2:30. Day 1 is complete. Tomorrow, well of opportunity. Where's your low-hanging fruit? Let me help you find that low-hanging fruit, because this low-hanging fruit, you could have clients by the end of the week. You could have clients tomorrow. I mean, right away. So when I was finishing the story with the lawyer, we did role-playing, and when she finally got out of seeing, when I kept on pointing out to her, you're selling me. And then she did it, and then she finally, and then the mindset behind it all, she went out there and got a client within 3 days. Just saying, it works. So thank you for letting me love on you today, because I am a high love energy. So I love to love on. I love to love. Love to love you, baby. Ooh. Love to love you, baby. Ooh.